In Module 1 of this training, you're going to learn the RAIN model. The RAIN model was conceived in response to pleas from school districts across the nation to develop a crisis response procedure that was easy to remember and simple to use. Educators desired a model that could be applied to classroom conflicts as well as a wide variety of multi-hazard campus incidents. When a crisis occurs, as a teacher, you don't always have time to turn to a 300-page crisis response manual or call timeout, or to run over and look at a flip chart. You need to know what to do and how to respond immediately. Often, you don't even have time to call another teacher across the hallway or to the main office. As a teacher, you are responsible for the safety and security of those children in your care, and you must be able to act quickly and safely and make appropriate decisions for yourself and your student. The RAIN model has been taught in hundreds of school districts throughout the United States and been successfully used numerous times to minimize damage, to reduce harm, and to save lives. RAIN is a tremendous tool for teachers because it can be learned in one short session and practiced in role-playing trainings throughout the entire year. The RAIN model consists of 4 primary elements: respond, assess, isolate, and notify. This model and its 4 primary components ensure that participants are aware of the importance of being safe, of taking action, and using proper observation skills to make good decisions, and to alert first responders in order to obtain professional assistance during a crisis or critical incident. The first step in RAIN is respond. And respond refers to the necessity to do something, to not freeze up or not freak out. It's important to take control of the situation. And as a teacher, the class is looking up to you. You must stay calm. You've got to be in control. And above all else, you've got to remain safe in order to lead your students and guide them safely through this incident. All teachers, whether assigned to a classroom, a gymnasium, or other designated area, must be able to provide guidance and instruction and do so in a manner that helps the situation and not negatively contributes to it. When we're training new police officers, we stress the importance of getting to a call quickly and responding quickly, but never put that above safety. If they're injured or killed, they can't help anyone. You must remain safe as you conduct your activities throughout the RAIN process and throughout the entire critical incident. Once we recognize the fact that we must respond to a crisis or critical situation at the school, we want to make observations that will assist us in making good decisions on the proper course of action to take. Assess refers to the quick ability to clearly determine the status of the offender, the victims, and the environment or location that the crisis is occurring in. The offender, the victim, and the environment are what we refer to in law enforcement as the incident triangle. This incident triangle can help us to quickly assess an incident and decide on the proper course of action to take. Now, as you understand, every critical incident isn't going to have all 3 elements of the triangle. For example, in a weather emergency, there may be no offender, but there might be a need to assess the medical needs of the victim or victims, and certainly there'll be a need to assess the location or the environment in which the hazard is occurring. As we said, depending on the situation, the teacher may have to assess the offender. In that case, you want to observe the offender and his or her actions. Are you familiar with the individual? And whether it's a student or a parent, do you know their particular history? What do you observe about their emotional state? Are they calm and controlled, or are they frantic and totally out of control? In this stage of the RAIN model, we want to gather as much information as quickly as possible. Obviously, as we've said before, if there's no offender, or if you cannot see him or observe his movements, you may want to move on to the next side of the incident triangle. The second side is to assess the victims. Again, depending on the situation, the teacher may have to assess the medical needs or current condition or potential of injury to the victim or victims caused by the incident. You'll need to determine if immediate assistance is necessary. Once again, if there are no victims or you do not have access to them, simply move on to the next side of the incident triangle: location. Location or environment is the final side in the assessment process of the RAIN model. When assessing your environment, you'll want to be aware of the area that you're located in. Are you in a classroom, or are you in a more public space, such as a gymnasium or a cafeteria, or outside, out on a playground? Or are you in an isolated area, like a portable building that's located away from the main campus? What access do you have to proper protection? Whether it's from windows or doors, what about interior hallways where you can locate a safety area? And what communications equipment do you have available? Do you have access to telephones, radios, cell phones? What about an intercom system? How can you call for help? Now, do you have cover or concealment? Concealment is something that hides you, like turning over a table or a chair or a desk. But cover will protect you, like a cement pillar or a metal awning. It may provide protection from an offender or from a weather-related emergency or disaster. Now, after we've made our assessment, we've looked at the possible offenders, the victims, and the environment, and quickly sized up the situation. The third step in the RAIN model refers to isolate. Isolate is the ability to keep yourself and others out of harm's way and safe and secure throughout the entire event. Isolate can also refer to separating yourself or your students from the possible offender by moving them a safe distance away. In the physical environment of the classroom or the school building, it may mean moving to a different part of the classroom or into a storage room or a restroom, an area you wouldn't normally use to find safety away from an incident. Respond, assess, isolate yourself and your students from harm. And the final step in the RAIN model is to notify. In this step, you should call for help, assign someone to go get help, or to go get help yourself depending on the incident that's occurring. Now, it should be pointed out that the RAIN model is not necessarily linear. If you're confronted with a crisis on campus and you can safely call for help and wish to do so before using the other elements of RAIN, go ahead and do it. Notify. The RAIN model was simply created as an easy four-step process for teachers and substitutes that you can use in a crisis. We want you to be able to quickly respond to the situation, assess the situation to make appropriate decisions, to isolate yourself and others from harm, and to notify police, fire, or other emergency responders so that they can properly respond to the crisis. The 4 steps in RAIN: respond, assess, isolate, and notify. That's the RAIN model, and it's been used successfully in schools throughout the nation and can help you as a teacher and your class successfully get through a critical incident or a crisis on your campus.